Have you ever noticed that when you're experiencing challenges and difficult situations in your life, that your health starts to get affected immediately? It's impacted by the whole stressful situation and the challenges that you face, such as you're struggling to sleep, you're having sleeping problems, your appetite is either low or high, either you're eating more or you're eating less, gaining weight, losing weight. And you've also noticed that you're not becoming as active as you were before. You're becoming inactive or less active. You feel like your energy is just reducing, and you feel like, I'm just not bothered to do things. So what tends to happen is, when we are going through stressful situations, in ways of us to build resilience, and that is, how do we deal with difficult situations in our life? And by that is by really, really taking care of our health as much as we can, as much as possible. A very good example. So you could take examples of your personal life, but let me give you an example that we can all relate. 3 years ago, COVID-19. Have we not seen how the lockdown impacted us? Have we not seen how people became inactive? People were eating more. People's sleep cycle literally reversed. So, for example, the night became the day and the day became the night. People were staying up all night and they were sleeping all day. Their whole sleep cycle got messed up. People were no longer commuting to work, so there was no need to sleep early, wake up early, and get ready for the commute. Because I could just be in my pajamas, put up a shirt for work, and nobody knows what else I'm wearing, or I'm not wearing anything below that. But that the whole idea is that the stress levels started to increase, and people felt that their sleep, their nutrition, their diet, the eating habits, and our physical activity and exercise had all gone down. Now, for some people, for those who prepared themselves, or for those who got used to that sort of routine, or tried to adjust their routine during the pandemic, during the lockdown time, they managed to kind of thrive and maintain their health. Now, I'm just giving you an example of COVID that we can all relate. But when it comes to building resiliency in future, so looking ahead, when we're dealing with difficult times, say you've got a 3 week, you're going through 3 weeks of a period of your time where you've got deadlines, whether it be university, work, you've got a business, you've got contracts, you've got new opportunities coming up, and you're really, really busy. So you feel like, I don't have time to exercise. I don't have time to be physically active. I don't have time to cook healthy meals or to eat healthy meals. You're just eating fast food and fast food and fast food because that's the quickest thing you can get. I don't have time, to kind of manage my sleep, because you're either sleeping late there and you're either struggling to sleep or you're sleeping more. So your whole sleep cycle's messed up. So how do we break this down? What are we looking at? So when we're going through stress, you probably heard this before a number of times. There's something called the fight or flight model. So when you're going through stress, either you fight it, where you try to challenge it, or flight, where you flee, or you freeze. There's one particular in the middle. So you're either in this type of fight or flight mode, where you sort of getting stuck. Either you flee, run away, or you fight, and you kind of, just fight that situation and really overcome it. The next thing that I want to mention is the cortisol hormone. Now, this is the stress hormone that really affects your appetite. So there are people, when they're stressed out, either their appetite is low, they don't feel like eating anything, or their appetite is high and they feel like eating a lot. So they either overeat or they binge eat, and so on and so forth. And stress has a direct impact on our immunity system. The higher our immunity, or the stronger our immunity, the stronger our body can be protected from certain diseases, conditions, and so on. Immunity protects our bodies from all different illnesses. That's why back in the pandemic, one of the first and number one advice that was given to the whole world was find ways to boost your immunity, because if your immunity is low, chances of you getting infected were higher. So the idea is that stress lowers your immunity. Now, we can't help it. Stress comes and goes in our lives. Everybody experiences a level of stress. But what's important is to find the techniques that suit you best, the stress management techniques that help you to kind of manage that stress in a way where it doesn't lead you to burn out. It doesn't lead you to have your other parts of your health factors to be impacted. It doesn't need you to, having sleeping problems. It doesn't need you to have issues of you either losing a lot of weight or gaining a lot of weight, and so on and so forth, to allow you to be more active. So it's important that we find ways to manage that stress so we can feel relieved and able to manage the situation, building that resilience. And how it helps is trying to maintain our health as much as possible, building a health routine. Building a health routine can be challenging. It's never really easy. A lot of it is just maintaining healthy routines and healthy habits. Let me give you an example. There are there's an abundance of different diets that you can research on Google, on YouTube. There's so many out there. And this is the thing. Find the one that works best for you. Find the one that works best for you. I used to tell this to people, some years ago. Keto is not necessarily for everyone, because some people can adapt to keto. Others cannot adapt to keto. Now, does that mean, they're not trying hard enough, or, they're not putting enough effort? No, it just means maybe it's not for them. So therefore, find a particular diet or a nutritional plan that works for you, that works for your body, that works for your physiological system. This is why you need to consult with a nutritionist or a dietitian, and to seek professional assistance and consultation so that you can get an idea of what works for you. The next thing, exercise or physical activity. What works for you? There are so many different exercises out there. It doesn't just have to be solely the gym. There are many, many other sort of alternatives. As a matter of fact, during the pandemic and during the lockdown, what did we find out? That home exercises are an alternative. Can you imagine that there are still, believe it or not, there are people today who still are worried about going to the gym because they're worried about being infected. There literally are people. They're not many, but there actually are people till today. They fear being infected if they're going to go to the gym. So looking at alternatives, if you feel like maybe you're not ready to go for a walk or a run, or maybe you're not ready to play a particular sport, fair enough. What other alternatives are there that might suit you? I spoke to this to a number of people, and I was speaking to someone the other day. We went to the park, and literally I was trying to tell him, and that I've been trying to speak to people when it comes to these alternatives, especially home exercises. The thing I like about home exercises is that you don't have to do a whole hour of a workout. You can break it down. You can do 5 minutes. Maybe you can do 10 minutes. If you wish to do a little longer, maybe 20 minutes. There's a library of different workouts by fitness and personal trainers, like qualified, certified, on YouTube. There's like a library of different workouts, and you can choose 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and so on. And you can choose the ones that fit you, choose the ones that you feel more comfortable and you feel like kind of suit you, suit your lifestyle, suit your schedule, suit your weekly plan, your weekly diary, your weekly schedule. Maybe you're very, very busy at work. Fine. Can you allocate 5 minutes a day, or every other day, or 3 times a week, or twice a week, to start building it up and, working out at home? Why not? Yes, different parts of the world. I know that maybe you don't want to make too much, noise. You don't want to be, disturbing your neighbors or your housemates or flatmates and etc. But it's about finding what suits you, what suits your schedule, and what is manageable. Remember that this is something that we teach in behavioral activation. As a matter of fact, behavioral activation, as initially it's a sort of treatment that sort of treats low mood depression, but the concept itself and the actual treatment and technique is also used to help people in building exercises, because the whole idea behind it is gradual steps and building up the habit and building up that gradual activity so that is manageable for you, so that you build it up slowly. It's like a ladder. Start with, let's say, once a week, twice a week, 3 times, 4 times. It's like someone who wants to start push-ups. I know I'm going overboard, but I'm just going to give this fine example. It's like starting with push-ups. A person says, you know what? I don't know. I can't do 100 push-ups a day. Fine. Start with 5. Start with 5 push-ups, and then get used to that 5. Get used to that 5. Slowly, 5. And then you'll feel the need and the want to actually increase. Add another 5. Now you've got 10. Then add another 5. Then you've got 15. Add another 5, you got 20. Then you'll find yourself within 4 to 6 months, and you've reached, let's say, 20, to maybe perhaps even by 6 months, you've reached, let's say, 50. Add another 6 months. So in 1 year, you went from 5 all the way up to 100 push-ups. It does take time, but building those steps, building them gradually, it does take time, but enjoy the process. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, so it's having sort of, like I said, today we're living in a time where personalized medicine is literally the way forward in terms of making things personalized for people that suits them and that is manageable to them. And also finding the best exercise, finding the best nutritional plan for you, trying to fix your sleep hygiene to your level best. And it does take time and needs a little bit of patience, but you will eventually get there. And finding the best way to manage your stress. All of the above, so that you can build a better, sort of a more resilient life. And that's the whole reality of health behavior change. And that is, how do we look at health, our attitude towards health, and finally, how do we kind of change our behavior towards health? Taking those little steps, and we will get there. Thank you.